organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up tonight on Daily Iowan TV, music infused with movement. See how one UI club dances their nights away.
120 years later, and some of the most notable 26.2 miles. Find out who crushed it at this year's Boston Marathon.
Humid and rainy. Find out more in weather coming up.
Iowa celebrates some national recognition for the Lady Jimhawks, and we get a glimpse into the middle of the Iowa softball season coming up in sports.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Taylor Brooks.
And I'm Daisy Lee. Some teachers at the Cedar Rapids Community School District will be out of a job come fall. The district announced it will remove 10 elementary school and 13 high school teaching positions before the start of the next school year. The district also plans to eliminate the foreign language program in the elementary schools as a way to help meet the budget. The cuts came as a result of years of low enrollment numbers, leaving the district in $2.3 million in debt. The cuts will save the district $1.7 million.
The Israeli police are calling the cause of a burning bus and 21 injured lives a terrorist attack. The driver of the bus told officials that he searched his bus for explosives, twice before beginning his route. He found nothing. Later in the day, the back of the bus rumbled into flames. This attack is believed to be linked to the conflict between Israel and Palestine.
Do you know what Kopay, Arabesque, and Paddleboard mean? The terms are names of dance moves the dancers in the University of Iowa Dance Club practice regularly. The dancers are currently hard at work prepping or their upcoming benefit show. Reporter Brooke Bella take a look at what it takes to make into a show.
After many long nights of sweat and yes, tears, members of the UI Dance Club are in their final rehearsals before showcasing their talents on stage. The benefit show has all different types of dance genres for the audience to enjoy. Genres include hip-hop, lyrical, jazz, and tap. One UI Dance Club member says dancers pick the genre they want to perform. The selection begins at the start of the spring semester, and this marks the first step in prepping for the show.
We've been rehearsing since about January. That's when we recruited everyone, and everyone chose their piece that they'd like to be in for the show.
Once dancers select the genre they want to perform, dance captains begin the difficult task of choreographing each dance.
I'm currently standing outside the main ballroom of the Iowa Memorial Union, where the 6th annual benefit show will be taking place. The show is on April 24th at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are $5 and all proceeds go to the Drug Education Administration Youth Dance Program. The organization provides after-school dance classes to inner-city youth.
One UI Dance Club member's love for tap is what makes the long hours she puts into perfecting each dance step worth it.
I just love all the different noises you can make with your feet, and I think it's really cool when you get a bunch of people together and you can hear all the different noises.
The UI Dance Club hopes for a big audience at the benefit show to showcase all their hard work to the community. Brooke Balla, Daily Iowan TV.
A North Liberty woman was arrested after allegedly using illegal drugs near children. Pamela A. Nelson was taken into custody on April 15th after witnesses saw her smoking marijuana while she was operating a daycare in her home. The North Liberty woman had 6 children inside her home sleeping when Nelson admitted to police she was using the drug. Nelson faces charges of possession of controlled substance and child endangerment. If convicted of both offenses, Nelson could spend up to 3 years in prison.
For any students planning to study abroad or hoping to visit Spain for fun, do not get a dog. Well, unless you plan on picking up after it. The mayor of Madrid, Manuela Comena, is trying to enforce the policing of dog poop. Dog owners who do not pick up after their pooch could be fined up to 1,500 euros, which is about $1,700 US, or they could be sentenced to a weekend of street cleaning duty.
If you went to the gas station and noticed the price per gallon of gas increase from just 1 week ago, you are not alone. According to a Gas Buddy daily survey, Iowans are paying nearly 9 cents more per gallon of gas than they were last week. Though this jump is jarring, the current price per gallon of gas is still lower than what it was a year ago. The gas price in Iowa City is currently $2.09 per gallon. Patrick Dehan, a senior petroleum analyst for Gas Buddy, says the increase in crude oil may be due to a possible change or freeze in the crude oil output during this past weekend's meeting in Doha, Qatar.
Houston, Texas is underwater. Over 1 million students in the Houston area were out of school due to this 16 inches of rain that flooded the Texan streets. No major injuries or deaths have been reported, but over 100,000 businesses and homes lost power. Officials are encouraging people to stay off the streets. Over 150 water rescues were made in one Texas county alone.
The weather here, though, has been a bit nicer, that's for sure. The relatively dry and warm weather we've been enjoying has been good for local farmers, too. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says Iowa has already planted 13% of its corn crop, well above the average. Usually only about 3% is planted by this time. Missouri is doing well, too. They have over half the crop in the ground, nearly double their average. Both neighboring states of Minnesota and Nebraska are also ahead of the average. The USDA says planting a crop early can lead to a better yield. Well, Daisy, I was back home in Illinois this weekend, and I saw the farmers out there getting to work. I know my dad was. The weather was absolutely beautiful for it.
That's right, Taylor. The warm weather and shining sun is a great way to start off the week.
Let's toss it over to Sydney in the weather studio to find out if we're keeping these temps around. Sydney?
Well, the temps are going to stay pretty hot this week. Things are heating up in Iowa City. Tuesday morning, we'll see overcast skies, and we'll start the day with the temperature 58. In the afternoon, we'll jump up into the high 60s with mostly cloudy skies, and things will stay relatively the same throughout the evening. Wednesday, you'll want to get your umbrellas out because we can expect an 80% chance of rain. Our chance of rain diminishes on Thursday to 60%. This weekend, we can expect temperatures ranging in the high 60s to the high 70s. We'll see a high of 78 on Saturday afternoon, so make sure you go out and enjoy the sunshine. Our evenings will be cooler, ranging from the mid-40s to the mid-50s. Now, it was Marathon Monday in Boston today, and it was not ideal running weather. Temperatures usually range in the low 40s to about 50 for ideal running weather, but for those in Boston, the temperatures were about 70 degrees. Although there is a sea breeze to cool things down, it looks like the conditions for the athletes were a lot less ideal than those for the spectators. That's it for this week. Back to you at the desk.
The university funds have been a hot topic of discussion after the Board of Regents predicting a raise in tuition for future Hawkeyes. But could the university revenue issues be fixed with its own athletics department? President Bruce Harold raised this a question in an interview with the Daily Iowan on April 15th, stating that he'd like to see shared funds between the UI and the athletics department relatively soon. However, some administrators disagree, asking, quote, how much money are you taking out of the student tuition fee to pay for academics? Harold hopes to maintain the athletics department's quality with this proposal.
As is tradition, the third Monday in April meant Patriots Day in Massachusetts. In conjunction with the morning Red Sox game, Monday marked the 120th running of the Boston Marathon. There were an estimated million people lining the 26.2-mile route from Hopkinton to Boston. Ethiopians Lemi Haile and Aset Ubasa swept the men's and women's elite races. Marcel Hug raced away in the waning seconds to win the men's wheelchair race. Boston has worked to return its holiday to its former festive state, but memories of the 2013 bombing still remain. Tanya McFadden, winner of the women's wheelchair race, cycled on Team MR8. It's the group racing in memory of 8-year-old Martin Richard, killed 3 years ago. Well, the Boston Marathon is really trying to get things back to normal in Massachusetts, and they seem to be doing very well.
Yeah, and things also went well for some Iowa Hawkeyes this week.
Yes, they did. Let's toss it over to Zach Mackey for more. Zach?
Thanks, ladies. Not only has the spring weather kicked into full gear, but so have spring Hawkeye athletics this weekend. as we were packed with golf, baseball, softball, and tennis. Even a little carryover from the gymnastics season. The NCAA Women's Gymnast Championships took place last weekend, and the Lady Jimhawks had their very own representative. Junior gymnast Molly Drenth competed as an individual all-arounder at the competition down in Texas. She earned Iowa program their third All-American honor, and she was also Iowa's first NCAA championship qualifier since 2011. Coach Larissa Libby said that Drenth's performance was thrilling from start to finish. She has come such a long way since her freshman year, and she has more in her, as the gymnast collected 5 all-around event titles in 5 consecutive weeks during the season for the Hawkeyes and helped lead them to one of the most impressive seasons in program history. Moving to the softball diamond, it was a heated final game between the Iowa Hawkeyes and the Wisconsin Badgers, which with each team winning 1 game of the 3-game series, it all came down to Sunday's game. Hannah Thompson was there and tells us how Wisconsin stole the lead and never looked back.
The Hawkeyes and the Badgers both came out gunning for that 3rd and final win of this series, but it was the little things that really held the Hawkeyes back and pushed Wisconsin to the W.
Iowa was first on the scoreboard during the Sunday afternoon game at Bob Pearl Field as sophomore Sarah Kuntz sent a ball deep to right field in the bottom of the 2nd and allowed the Hawks to take the lead 1-0. For the next few innings, there was a lack of action as both pitchers, Iowa's Shayla Starkenberg and Wisconsin's Taylor Stewart, kept each other's team at a standstill. But fast forward to the top of the 6th, the Badgers hit a spark and stole the lead, bringing in 3 runs. That lead stuck, and the game ended with a score of 3-1 in favor of Wisconsin. Now, this loss brought an air of disappointment to the Hawkeyes, especially after coming out and taking down Wisconsin on Saturday, 5-2.
We really came out swinging yesterday, and I think we started it off pretty well, but I think our intensity kind of dropped off at the end, and we just couldn't get it back.
Even with the disappointment surrounding the game, Coach Maria Looper said there was a lot to be proud of.
Our start from Shayla was phenomenal. She gave us 4 solid innings. She even finished the game real solid. We didn't play real sharp behind her as the game went on. That's number 1. And then us getting on an early start, that was helpful. Unfortunately, we just kind of sat on them and didn't continue to peck away and score those runs.
But even with those things that did go well, it's the other little things, Looper said, that really make or break a performance, and those will be the focus before the next games.
And if we fix those areas, take care of the little things, which means take care of the ball first before we try to throw it, we'll shore that up and we'll be fine. But there's an opponent on the field for a reason.
And despite this weekend, the team is optimistic about what's to come.
Getting the win on Saturday was great. Obviously, we want a little bit more than that, but we still have plenty of games ahead of us. Hopefully, we can get some more wins.
From Bob Pearl Field, I'm Hannah Thompson, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
The Hawkeyes head back to the ball field on Tuesday for a doubleheader against Missouri. Now in the baseball world for the Hawkeyes, it was a comeback win over the Indiana Hoosiers. Iowa lost both the first and second games, but was able to just take the win in the 3rd game of the series. It was the RBI single of Eric Skank-Jablinski in the 10th inning that pushed Iowa to the lead and the final victory. Coach Rick Keller said the game was a big step in the right direction, and they hope to keep seeing improvement in the coming games. That's all we've got for you tonight here in the sports studio. Back to you two at the desk.
Thanks, Zach. Enjoy a summer's night of rock and roll with the American rockers Kiss. They are set to perform at the Iowa State Fair in Des Moines this summer.
The band will play the grand stage on August 19th. The last time Kiss performed in Des Moines was 2 years ago at the Wells Fargo Arena. This time they take their tunes outdoors. That's all we have for you tonight on Daily Iowan TV.
Be sure to check out our website, dailyiowan.com, for all of the latest news from now until Sunday. For Daily Iowan TV, I'm Taylor Brooks.
And I'm Daisy Lee. Thanks for tuning in and have a good night.
Can't pick up a copy of the Daily Iowan? Are you worried about how you're going to find out about the latest news in Iowa City and the University of Iowa? Well, look no further. You can download the Daily Iowan mobile app on your iPhone for the area's best news coverage.